1, 2, the cut down.
We're going to dive in and talk all things related to the newly announced MediaTek Dimensity 9300. This is the follow-up to the 9200, which I did coverage on last year. And this is, of course, their new flagship system on a chip. And this is meant to power some of your favorite Android devices, Android flagship phones next year. And boy, are they bringing heat. They are bringing performance. They are bringing new technologies to the platform, especially when it comes to how it performs on the GPU side, the CPU side, but also the AI calculations and the new ISP that's in there, which obviously the ISP does deal with the image signal processing for pictures and videos. And that's the part that me, I'm very excited forward to see what potential is this platform gonna unlock for your smartphone photography and videography on your smartphone for 2024 and beyond. And you know it, man. The day and age we live in, we are all content creators. All of us are content creators. We are all content creators. And the more accessible, the more powerful, and the easier our smartphones allow us to capture footage at the highest quality, quickly as possible in the most convenient way. These system on the chips with the ISP, image signal processor that's built in, really enable these features to come through. We're going to break down, I'm going to talk about it. We've got it right in hand as we've shown. MediaTek baby 9300. This is the actual system on a chip. It's in my hand. I've got the power. MediaTek Dimensity 9300. Again, as stated, this is based on the third generation 4nm process node from Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company TSMC. And this is meant to be powering all your next generation favorite flagship Android devices, hopefully taking on a bit more market share at the premium end. And this is hopefully meant to be the gatecrasher against the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is also based on a third generation 4nm process. Now, what do we have here? We do have an octa-core based design. This is all based on all big core performance, epic mobile experiences, unmatched computing power, generative AI on board, and so much more. Cool. So what do we have here? It says all big core CPU, 8 cores of extreme performance. The MediaTek Dimensity 9300 is the first to market with the latest ARM Cortex-X4 and the Cortex-A720 processors, the world's first flagship smartphone chip to use all 4 big cores. Interesting. 4 Cortex-X4 cores and 4 A720 processors. This gives the enthusiasts the ultimate performance. They are going all out for performance, right? 15% uplift in single core performance in terms of upgrade. Really can't wait to see what that looks like and what device is really going to be tapping into that. 40% multi-core performance upgrade. And obviously you've got the 4 Cortex-X4 performance cores that clock all the way up to 3.25 gigahertz. 4 Cortex A720 efficiency cores that can clock up to 2.0 gigahertz. And in terms of cache, you've got level 3 cache with 18 megabytes. And then obviously the SLC cache, which is 29% larger than the previous generation. We love to see it. What I'm really excited for the most, especially, is what they've been able to optimize with this third generation of the TSMC 4nm fabrication process, right? It says precise control over power efficiency. MediaTek has applied its industry-leading expertise to precisely control the CPU's performance and power curve for superior performance and power efficiency, right? Up to 33% multi-core power saving versus the previous generation, which is the 9200. Second generation firmware optimized package designed by MediaTek Really excited to see how this looks like. Flash grade memory and storage, 8% more power efficient when paired with flagship grade memory and storage compared to the previous generation. Of course, this is what we have here. First, with the LPDDR5T 9600 megabits per second, world's fastest smartphone memory, universal flash storage UFS 4.0, and that is plus MCQ. Okay, outstanding user experiences, zero delay when it comes to fingertips, launches as expected. This is where I'm really excited about what they're doing, right? The world's first hardware-based generative AI engine with secure personalized AI. I know artificial intelligence is getting thrown around a lot, but this one I'm very much excited to see how that's going to be really, materialized on this particular platform. Again, this is a showcase of a platform. How that will absolutely look when it comes to final device and what devices decide to tap into the platform and use this particular system on a chip and develop from there is going to be very interesting to see over time. What we do have here says MediaTek's next generation accelerated processing units architecture incorporates a hardware generative AI engine, enabling faster and safer edge AI computing. MediaTek's comprehensive toolchain assists developers in swiftly and efficiently deploying multimodal generative AI applications at the edge, providing users with innovative generative AI experiences, including text, images, music, and more. Right. AI is a very hard thing to, measure in terms of performance at the minute. But what they're saying is 8 times faster transformer-based AI, generative AI. Again, we'll see how that looks like. 2 times faster integer and floating point compute improvement, 45% more power efficiency. I'm always for efficiency in mobile devices, up to 33 billion parameters. Again, that's how that's going to be measured and utilized. I'm not too sure. Exclusive hardware accelerated memory compression technology. I love the sound of that. I love anything that is advancement in compression techniques and compression methods. First, support on-device LoRa fusion. Interesting. Right. Here's where we're looking at the graphics, right? Yet again, MediaTek is the first to use ARM's latest flagship GPU architecture, the Immortalis G720, with hardware-based ray tracing in the graphics processing unit GPU. It provides an extra 46% peak performance, 40% power savings, and 40% memory bandwidth savings in geometry-heavy game scenes. Woo! By combining the Extreme 8-core CPU design and its second-generation hardware-based ray tracing, this is something that we did initially see incorporated in the 9200. The Dimensity 9300 provides gamers with fast, full ray tracing experiences at smooth 60 FPS, and the world's first mobile platform to achieve console-level global illumination effects versus previous generation Dimensity. Wow. Okay, anyone that knows about global illumination in terms of, GI lighting, hardware-based ray tracing, ray trace shadows, path tracing, it's a very complex thing. And for them to develop this more on a hardware level and not on software offline, this is great to see. It's an epic 12-core GPU, 46% hardware ray tracing improvement, 2 times multi-sampling anti-aliasing support, 2 times pixel blend throughout, 2 times texture throughput. Very interesting. Of course, we've got MediaTek's HyperEngine adaptive gaming technology upgraded. Again, this is the platform that really manages the gaming performance and output. What I'm really excited to see is this, the new image signal processor, the Magic 990, next generation cinematic video capture. Again, this is something where this is their 9th generation upgrades for the flagship phone experience. AI videography benefits from new bi-directional direct coupling using between the US ISP and the APU for zero latency video preview. 18-bit raw ISP design features. This is something I'm really excited to see. 4K cinematic mode with depth of field blur. Absolutely one of my favorite features you're going to be seeing on a smartphone. I don't know if they're going to tap into being able to move that to 4K 60, but it looks like the platform supports it now, which is one thing I'd love to see. 100% pixel level autofocus, dual lossless zoom, love that. Standalone OIS for best-in-class image stabilization, tripling the speed of stabilization operations. And again, what you're seeing here is a development of what was already supported but built on. For example, the image engine that's built on there for decode and encode, it supports up to displays up to wide quad high definition, up to 180 hertz, 25% faster, up to 4K 120 hertz displays, which is great to see. Dual native display support, anything that's going to up display experience, this is something that is great to see. And 4K 120, this is within the HDMI 2.1 spec. You know, I've got a 4K 120 display monitor, two 4K 120 TVs in the house, 48-inch, 65-inch, and I'm telling you, man, you get used to 4K 120, especially with the fast response that you're getting in games on the next generation consoles, or current gen as we like to call it. Yeah, it's absolutely clutch. Of course, building on the fact that they've still got Wi-Fi 7 support, which I love to see. You know, sub 6 gigahertz when it comes to an AI-based 5G modem. This is one thing that is another great thing that we love to see. And again, this is the architectural breakdown of what we're seeing in terms of the specifications, right? 4x4, baby. I know there's different formations that they've gone, but they're really, it seems like when we're on the briefing call with them, they're very confident in what they're doing with the architectural breakdown and the fabrication process, you know, that they've built on the 3rd generation 4nm TSMC process, just based on the fact that they're not going with one super core, 3 performance cores, and then a 2x2 efficiency cores. They're going 4x4 stacked back to back, right? And it's going to be very interesting to see. Again, you're seeing the camera sensor support all the way up to 320 megapixels, 8K 30 frames a second with stabilization, 4K 60, LPDDR5T RAM support. This is a stacked future set. And of course, when it comes to video playback, you've got the AV1 codec that's supported. Video encoding is H.264, HEVC, which is H.265. There's so much on here that I'm just really impressed with off the platform. Support for Bluetooth 5.4 on the platform, Wi-Fi 7, of course. What doesn't this MediaTek 9300 Dimensity have to offer? Like, I love to see this. This is great stuff. I'm gonna top down for now. Okay, so this is the infographic that was sent. It's pretty much near enough on what we were discussing before. It shows what the single core performance increase should be, around 15%. On single core, 40% increase on a multi-core, which is something I'm really happy to see. The efficiency benefits of the 3rd generation TSMC 4nm chip production, which is something TSMC looked like they've really got down. And I know there's the 3nm process that you find on other platforms, but right now, this is a level of maturity that we should have good confidence on a 4nm process on the 3rd generation. I'm eager to see how it looks like, and that's up to 33% multi-core power saving versus the previous generation. So yeah, this is everything that we pretty much discussed, that we looked on the infographic that was put together. So really appreciate the guys over at MediaTek for sending this over, briefing us in. I can't wait to get more information, especially devices that will be tapping into the power of the Dimensity 9300 platform. This is pretty much the roundup. Again, we're going to have to wait for the devices to come into play for us to really see what this chipset platform can do. But right now, it's looking very promising. What are my takes on this so far? I'm really glad to see MediaTek bringing the fight to Qualcomm. And this is something that I'm really glad to see. I'm glad to see that this is the case. I'm glad to see that they're stepping in, they're stepping out. I'm glad to see that they're showing confidence in how they want to formate their platform and what they want to support with it. One of the things I did ask is, with everything really being moved into ARM-based computing outside of mobile, into like actual traditional computers like laptops especially, right, and small form factor desktops, what does this mean for the Dimensity platform? Is this something that they're considering in terms of building? We've seen what Snapdragon have announced when it comes to the X Elite platform, right? And again, you have to give credit and props to what Apple have been able to do with the M series platform since 2020, to where they are on a 3rd generation platform, the M3, and that is built on a 3nm process alongside what we're seeing with the A17 Pro, with the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max platform. What we're really seeing here is MediaTek coming into their own. This is so important. We need this level of development competition, right? And the building blocks and the foundation of this, it's a really good place to be. I'm still very much eager to see how much of these features make it into a final product. Who will be first to jump in on the final product? How competitive is it going to be priced? How much challenge are they going to have to make sure the package fits around thermals to performance, as well as feature sets that's being showcased and promised on the platform? All these things are unknown. But what I can say is I love the fact that they are sticking to it. There's been often enough times where building your own platform it's a very, very tough order. We're grateful for companies like ARM that license and actually continue to develop these platforms for you to actually license, build upon, make your own where you can, and build from there. In this particular situation, I love the fact that they're tapping into the architecture that ARM has actually put out there. They're confident in it. I mean, they're showcasing the use of the, G720 Immortalis GPU with second generation hardware-based ray tracing should tell you that they're in a place where they are confident with the partnership. They're confident what they're building. Going against the grain in terms of how they've even formatted 4 ultra cores with 4 super cores or performance cores. I'm eager to see how that really goes, how that will affect efficiency and the performance. We're yet to really know what the actual limitations, if any. But what it is looking like is the total package is going for just performance and counting on that 3nm process with their second generation thermal management for IC coming into play. In that sense, am I excited to see what this platform is going to be able to do? Oh, yes. Feel like Churchill, the dog. This is exciting times. We need more competition like this. And MediaTek, a great showing so far. There's more to come. This is a great showcase and preview into what we should be expecting into the 2024 year when it comes to flagship Android devices being powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9300. I have some questions. I don't know if I have some absolute concerns. I just have questions. I'm eager to see it and I want to know more. Of course, we're going to be at the summit next week.